Tiffany here with Years of Ears, and it's this day in Disney for July 13th. And to start off, we're talking about a very special day in history. Back in 1925, on this day, Walter Elias Disney and Lillian Marie Bounds were married. They were married in Lewiston, Idaho, at her brother's home, and his name was Sid O Bounds, and he was actually Lewiston's fire chief at the time. So on that special occasion, she wore a dress that she made herself, which I just think is so cute and I love it. And since Lillian's father was deceased, her uncle gave her away, which was very special in that situation. Reverend D.J.W. Somerville actually performed the ceremony, in Lillian's sister Hazel Sewell and her brother Sidney were the ones who acted as witnesses. So it was a very intimate, small wedding. There's a picture, you can go look them up. If you just type in Walter or Walt Disney and Lillian Bounds marriage, you'll see the picture of that day, and you can see the dress she made. It's so cute. We'll probably use that as the photo for this video too, but you can go see it as well to get a good look at it. There's a couple other photos on there from the time period out on the interwebs. So you can kind of see them and how they looked when they got married. So Lillian was actually born in Spalding, Idaho, and she grew up on the Lapwai, Idaho, the Nez Perce Indian Reservation. So her father was a blacksmith there and also a federal marshal. So she did end up graduating high school in Lewiston, and I found out that she also served a year of business school before she headed out to California to live with her sister Hazel's family. So that's when she was hired at the studio to become an inker, and that's when she met Walt Disney. And she was actually one of 10 children, so she came from quite a big family, but it looks like her and Hazel were pretty close of the 10, and they must have been closer in age. You know how those big families, some of the kids kind of pair off, I guess, as in their friendships because they're closer together in age, which makes more sense. And then obviously Sydney too. So she animated cels right away over there at Walt and she was also a secretary for Walt Disney as well. So pretty cool. I love learning, and I hope we will go into more detail another day on Lillian Bounds and her role with Walt Disney, obviously her husband, but she played a role in the company throughout the years and even after his death. So a very special lady, especially to be married to someone like Walt, who's a big character. So we'll talk more about them, but pretty neat. They got married on July 13th, which is also kind of interesting because most people see that as, you know, like an unlucky number, but they didn't seem to care. They got married that day anyhow. So maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as we've made it in our, you know, generation, as maybe it didn't bother people back then as much. So next up on this day in Disney, in 1935, Mickey Mouse short was released, which was called Mickey's Garden. So this was a really fun short. I really enjoyed watching it, and the film was, it's interesting. It's got a lot of firsts. So it was the second shot in Technicolor, and it was the first color appearance of Pluto, and the first color cartoon where Mickey speaks. So just, you know, right at the end, Mickey has a line there. And then this is also the first short where Ollie Johnston, at the time he was a cleanup artist, but this is the first short that he works on. So really cool. There's a documentary over on Disney Plus with Frank and Ollie, and so you can, if you haven't watched that, I'd highly recommend it. They also have a really cool book. Oh, it's on the shelf. Yes, the Illusion of Life, Disney animation, Frank and Ollie, Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson. So we got this one year for Christmas, and it's a really cool book. So, but I think it was a lot. I can't remember how much we paid for it at the moment, but it was on Amazon. But go watch the documentary on Disney Plus. So anyway, this film centers on Mickey Mouse trying to get rid of his garden insects, and it's just not working. He runs out of the bug spray, and so he decides to make his own bug spray. So this was definitely a different time period for sure. So here he is making this big vat of bug spray that he's using, and then you know, Pluto comes along and he gets his head stuck in a pumpkin, and Mickey in the ruckus ends up spraying himself with this bug spray, or getting sprayed with it. And then it's like hallucination world. Everything changes and all the vegetables grow. You'll have to go. It's a very interesting short. You need to go watch it. So I had a lot of fun watching it, and I enjoyed seeing, you know, all these little insects and animals. You know, you always think of Mickey kind of in the Mickey world and the Fab Five getting along with all the animals. So, but in this particular short, he wants to kill all the insects, and so it's just kind of a different dynamic to see that happen. But so it was a lot of fun. So go check it out and go watch you know, Frank and Ollie on Disney Plus, and go check out those pictures of Walt and Lillian, and always remember that they were married on July 13th. So that's it for this day in Disney, and we'll see you next time.